All right, in this video class, we're going to talk about ways to represent relations or relations versus functions. There are a couple ways that we can represent relations. There's ordered pairs, tables, mappings, graphs, and equations. Let's talk about ordered pairs first. If I am given a set of ordered pairs and it asks for the domain, all it's asking me for are the x values. So here I've already pulled out the x values, -1, 0, and 2. And then here for range, it's asking for my y values, 2, 5, and 7. The key to listing domain and range is making for sure that you do not list repeats. So if I have a x value that is listed more than once, I will not list that more than once. I only list it once. And the other key essential thing to remember is it has to be in order of least to greatest. So -1 is my smallest number and 2 is my greatest number. So I am good for both my domain and range. Is it a function? Well, how I tell is I look at my x values, 1, -1, 0, and 2. Because all of my x values are different, then I can say that this is a function. If I had one that was the same, if this was -1, for instance, this x -1 is paired with 2 and 7, which cannot be correct and be a function. So it would be considered a relation had this 2 be changed to -1. Because it's actually a 2, then I can say that this set of ordered pairs is a function. Tables, same thing. I'm listing my domain. I'm going to pick the smallest x value, which is -2, then 0, then 3. Why did I list 3 only once? Because it's a repeat, and I can't list repeats when I'm listing domain and range. My range is my y, so I'm going to start with the smallest of these numbers, which is 4, 1, 2, then 6. I didn't have any repeats, so I didn't have to worry about that. And is this a function? Are all of my x values the same? No, they are not. Because I have two x values, this 3 is with 1 and it's with 6, can this be a function? If you said no, you're correct. No, it's not a function because the 3 is here with 2 different y values. All right. Mapping. This is my x and this is my y. Whenever you map, the oval that's first is always the x, and then the oval that's second is always the y. Always, always. So I have 3 different x values and they are different. So I can already tell you that yes, this is a function. And then I'm just going to list my domains, which are my x's. I'm going to start with the smallest number, which is -7, 0, and 3. And then I'm going to list my range, which are my y's, 1 and 2. Some of you may be saying, well, this y2 is with -7 and 0. And so I told you in class that y's are the boys. And so for the sake of knowing functions and relations, this is a double standard, and the guy can have more than one girl. Graphs. Is this a function? I would have to do a vertical line test. If my vertical line test, if on a vertical line it hits the graph more than once, then no, it is not a function. Domains are going to be my x values, right? So all of these values on the x, and I could go through and name each one. All of these values on the x. And then range is going to be my y's. It's all of the values that the graph lists on the y. Okay. Equations. If it's a function or not, we're going to skip this for now, and I'll come back to it in a later video. Additionally, I wanted to show you can't find it at the moment, but if you have any questions on relations versus functions, please feel free to see Mrs. Render.